And so we misunderstand what Jesus is saying sometimes. I think a lot of people imagine God as like this gatekeeper. Have you thought of that? That when they think about this home and this God of the universe and this invitation, that God is this gatekeeper. He's restricting access, kind of like God is standing at the door like a bouncer, deciding whether someone is worthy to come into the space. I think sometimes we have this image going on, and it's hard for us to understand what it is that Jesus is saying, because that's sort of our concept of what's happening. But Jesus begins with a different picture than this image of God restricting access. Jesus, he's almost like he talks to them like you would imagine a little kid looking at his friends and saying, hey, come over to my house. My Father's house has many rooms. And he's inviting them, his disciples, his friends, into this space. And he's not talking about a place that has barely enough space. He's not talking about like some cramped corner somewhere. That's not the kind of place that God is trying to invite us into. It's not the kind of place where God is trying to figure out how few people he can fit in there. No, Jesus says many rooms. Friends, the journey of Scripture, all the way throughout, is this story of the heart of God that is expansive. We try to talk about this all the time, that God's heart is just continually radiating out. God has been making room, much room. In Genesis, God walks in the garden with humanity. He's created this space for them. In Exodus, he creates this tabernacle for them to gather, for his presence to dwell with them. Then Jesus comes, and John says that the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. And again, God moves toward humanity, making a way to them. And by the time you get to Revelation, there's this promise that's painted through Scripture. Look, it says, God's dwelling place is now among the people, and he will dwell with them.